We have a motion. Do we have a second on all three of those?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
We have to vote, Ken?
Yes, we do have to
Yeah,
vote.
okay.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. I'll adjourn our election of officers meeting. I'll go ahead and call to order our regularly scheduled board meeting. First item up on our agenda is approval of the agenda as it is presented. Do we have any additions or deletions for the agenda tonight? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, it's a great time of year. I enjoy this every year. We have the Ortho Brown Scholarship recipients.
Yes, this is always one of the most rewarding things that we're able to do each year. But the Otho Brown Scholarship is awarded to Clinton City teachers who want to further their education to benefit the students inside the city of Clinton. And Kathy Brown is with us tonight, and she has been a long supporter of this scholarship that has just given, I think, over $115,000 to Clinton City teachers over the years to continue their education. And it's in honor of her father, and we're glad to have Kathy Brown with us tonight. And we have two recipients that I would like to come up at this time to receive their award for Arthur Brown Scholarship. The first is Tammy Winstead, and she'll be using this to go to the University of Tennessee to complete her reading specialist degree. And then the second recipient of this award is Whitney Hawkins, who is going to begin her administration degree at the University of Tennessee this fall. And so we're very, very proud of these two educators as they continue their education, and there is no doubt that the students of Clinton will benefit from the generosity of Kathy Brown and her foundation. So at this time, I'd like to present these awards and have Kathy come up for a picture. Is Gwen here?
All right, and moving on, we have our new staff members for the 2019-2020 school year.
Okay, you all know how excited I get about this, because every year I tell you that we hire the best, and this year is no exception. We just keep getting better and better, and so we are certainly proud of our new hires that we have grabbed up this year. And so what we'll do, guys, out in the audience is I will introduce you, tell a little bit about you. If you'll just stand up as we talk about you, and then you'll sit back down. And then after everyone is introduced, we'll get you to come, and the school board will welcome you to Clinton City Schools. We do have two people that were unable to attend. Merle Price and David Queener were not able to attend tonight, but they wanted me to express their sincere gratitude and appreciation that you are at Clinton City Schools, and you will certainly get to know them.
And then stay for a picture on the
Yes,
steps
and then
every
if you
year.
don't care, after you are welcomed here, if you will meet Gwen Payne on the steps of City Hall, it is our annual new teacher picture. And then after that, we know that you are extremely exhausted surviving the first few days of school. So although talking policies and procedures is the most fun thing that we ever do, and we know that would be really exciting for you to stay for, you are welcome to leave and go home and prepare for tomorrow. Okay, first of all, we're just going in alphabetical order here. So we are going to start with Michael Anderson. Is Michael with us? There's Michael. So Michael, welcome. He is a custodian with us, and I'm going to tell you what, he has come. We've moved him to South Clinton, correct? And he started off at Clinton Elementary with us over the summer, and he is a go-getter, let me just tell you. He is very, very knowledgeable about many things, and great initiative, and just takes the bull by the horn and just does an excellent job. So we are certainly glad that we found him and brought him on to Clinton City Schools. So welcome, Michael. We're glad you're here. Next, we have Reagan Anderson, and Reagan Anderson is not a brand new face to us. She did her internship with us at South Clinton Elementary School last year with Aaron Collier in 5th grade, and so she is joining us at South Clinton in 1st grade for this year, and so we are extremely glad that she is with us. We stressed her out a little bit this year because we were painting her room and doing some maintenance in her room, and she didn't quite get in there in a timely fashion. But that smile on her face, she kept that smile on her face the whole entire time, even though I know inside she was sweating bullets. But her and Lori Irwin at South Clinton are making a great team. So congratulations, and we're glad that you're with us, Miss Reagan. Next, we have Nikki Brewer. And Nikki Brewer is actually a parent of ours and one of the biggest cheerleaders of Clinton City Schools. She just has always been behind us and just given us great shout outs on social media. She's been a cheerleader for us. She has been a president of PTO at South Clinton. She has volunteered numerous hours. She served as a substitute for us as well. One of her children has already graduated from Clinton. We got another one for just a little bit longer, and we'd like for her to bring us some more because they're great kids. But she
No pressure.
but she is joining us as a teaching assistant at South Clinton, so she is finally a member of us, and I think she gets the award for the most. For the largest amount of Blaze cross-country attire of anybody in the city of Clinton is the award that she owns. So welcome, Nikki. We're glad you're finally part of us. Then we have Ashley Brock with us. Is she with it? There she is. And Ashley is also not a new face. She did an interim position for us at the end of last year. She filled in for Jody McCoy when Jody McCoy had her baby in kindergarten. And she came in and fit right in as part of the Clinton Elementary staff. And so we have swapped her up, and she is going to be in second grade with us this year. And she just has a great personality and a true passion for education. So Ashley, we are glad that you're with us. Then we have Megan Flora. And Megan is coming to us. She's going to be a teacher at North Clinton Elementary School. She's going to be a third grade teacher. And she just, we always try to find the right fit with the right school. And I will tell you, Monica's not an easy sell. I'll just tell you, she has very, very high expectations, and she knows exactly what she wants and who she wants at North Clinton that will just love on the babies and have high expectations and give them an abundance of support. And so I like to tell this story. Megan's already heard it first, but we always have we all play a hand in the hiring because we know that's one of the most important things we can do is put a quality educator in front of kids. And so I was actually at a meeting in Nashville when I get a phone call from Jamie Jordan who says, I know this is breaking protocol. I know that we don't ever hire anybody without you meeting them first, but this one time we've got to grab her up. And so we did. And so we are so glad that she did. She has just come in with a great enthusiasm, wonderful knowledge, and she will certainly serve us well at North Clinton. So Megan, welcome to Clinton City Schools. Next, we have Melinda Forgedy. And Melinda is coming to us. She was like a little jewel that we found right before school started. But we had Megan Money who was doing ESL classes for us, and she wanted her own classroom. And so we decided to put her in third grade and give her the opportunity to experience a classroom. And Melinda has several years of experience in a classroom, and she wanted to experience the ELL world. And so she applied for the position. She's coming to us from Bell Morris in Knox County, where she has an abundance of experience with urban education, abundance of experience with the socio-emotional development of children, and she is going to bring much more to the table than just ELL. So she's going to be teaching our ELL students, but she's also going to be doing interventions for us in all three schools. And we just feel like that we have just found a gem in her. So we're excited that you're with us, Melinda. Next, we have Rebecca Nienhuis. And Rebecca's going to be joining us in kindergarten at South Clinton Elementary School. And she has previous experience as a kindergarten intervention teacher at Rita in Knox County, and then she went the private route and worked at Pride and Joy Private School in kindergarten for several years. And she was eager to get back into the public setting where she could grow professionally and be fed with professional development. And so that is one of the things that interested us most about her. Also, she comes to us firmly believing that 5- and 6-year-olds are capable of doing great things. And so she's going to come with high expectations for the kids, but believes in that abundance of support as well. So Rebecca, congratulations, and we're glad that you're with us. And then we have Ariel Price with us. And Ariel is also not a complete stranger to us. So this is how things work in Clinton City Schools. You come to us and you do an internship and under guidance under Sarah Ray. And while you're doing your internship, you're pregnant. And so you leave and you take a year off to have a baby. And while you're off with your baby, your mentor teacher gets pregnant and decides to have a baby. And so then you come back and you do her interim position while she's staying at home. And so it worked out very, very nicely. The timing was just beautiful. So she was at Clinton Elementary for 1 complete year under Sarah Ray. And so now she's coming back for another complete year with us at Clinton Elementary School. So she's going to fit right in. She knows the students, knows the school, kind of knows the way that we run the guidance program. So that timing just worked out perfectly for us. So congratulations, Ariel. We're glad that you're with us. Next, we have Taylor Scott. She is also not a stranger to us. She did her internship with us last year at North Clinton Elementary School. She was in first grade with Kelly Reed. And so when we had a third grade position pop up, we did some internal moves, and we knew we needed 2 third grade teachers. And so we offered that to her. And so she's going to be in third grade with Megan. And so they're just kind of the powerhouse team coming in. They're going to conquer third grade together at North Clinton. She's a Clinton girl. And so we're extremely excited that she is with us. So Taylor, welcome. We're glad to have you. And then we have Taylor Singleton. And Taylor Singleton has joined us in our maintenance department, and she's just loads of fun. She has such a wonderful little personality that she brings. And Taylor, remind me what school we placed you at for the school year.
Right now?
Yes. So you're at Clinton Elementary right now, but you were up at North over the summer with Sheila.
Bless your
And
heart.
so Sheila trained her. And so anyway, she has come now, but she has fit right in, her sweet little personality. And she, sometimes we just need that woman's touch, and she just brings that woman's touch, no offense, to the maintenance department. So welcome. We are glad that you are here, Taylor. Next, we have Homer Trett. Is Homer with us, or is he cleaning a building? He is sick. So Homer was with us for a while and decided he wanted to go try some things away from Clinton City, went away for a little while and decided that he missed Clinton City. And so he has come back to us, and he is at North Clinton Elementary. Scott, is that where you placed him for this year? And so he has come back and has just done a wonderful job, and we are glad to have him. Tara Ward is our school nurse. She was unable to be here tonight. It was her papaw's 80th birthday, and that is just way more important. So we are glad that she is celebrating that 80th birthday tonight. She will come next month, and I will introduce you to her, but she is our full-time school nurse at Clinton Elementary School. And as we looked at our nursing situation, we have inherited quite a few fairly significant health issues this year that we did not have last year. So we, Amanda May, of course, is our nurse at North Clinton, or was our nurse at North Clinton. We kind of had planned on being able to split her between North and South, but just due to the extreme health situations we had, that really was not in the best interest of our kids. So Tara's going to be at Clinton Elementary. Amanda May is going to move to South. And then we have hired Katie Hernandez to be at North Clinton full-time for us, and she's going to start here in just a few days. She's having to finish up at her other job, but she was probably the last hire that we did, and so she's working her other job right now, and I don't believe she was able to make it tonight. But we will once again have three nurses, and so each school will get their own individual so we can make sure the kids' health needs are taken care of. And then finally, we've got a few more here. Miss Morgan Webster. It just so happens that you're in the W's, honey. We still love you just the same. But Morgan is also not a stranger to us. She did her internship at Clinton Elementary with us last year. So she was with Dana Brock for a brief period of time, and then she finished up in 4th grade in Stephanie Brock's room. And so she comes to us with a wide, just that good experience of what primary classroom looks like, what an intermediate classroom looks like. And so she is going to be in kindergarten with us, where Jody McCoy is taking maternity leave. She is going to be with us in that position, probably all year. If not, we've grabbed her for the whole entire year. So she's with us for the long haul. But anyway, she just comes with such a pleasant personality, and Jenna said that she just fit right in and is willing to do. I think one of the things that impressed Jenna the most is that when she went into Stephanie Brock's room, she just jumped right in and didn't wait to be told what to do. It's like she just instinctively, it must have something to do with her parents serving on school boards. I think that's probably what it had to do with. But anyway, she just instinctively knew what to do and fit in. So Morgan, we are certainly glad that you're part of us at Clinton City Schools. Congratulations. And then a couple more people who were employed last year, you probably didn't get a chance, I don't think, to see them face-to-face that we wanted to introduce to you. Miss Sierra May, if you'll stand up. Sierra has joined us as a teaching assistant at North Clinton Elementary School, and talk about delivering quality intervention. She has just come in and has become just an essential part of the staff, and she did some subbing for us for a little while. That's how we got to know her, but now she is full-time with us as a teaching assistant at North Clinton. So welcome. Even though you've been here a little while, this is your official welcome. And then we've also got Luke and Larry Gray, and now I got to introduce them as a team, even though they're very separate. But Luke and Larry Gray are with us. They may look like brothers, but they're not. One is a daddy and one is a son, and I'm just going to let you choose which one that would be. But anyway, Larry came to us. He moved into the area and he was over maintenance for a high school up in North, up in, was it Ohio? I want to have you in Ohio, Indiana. I always say Ohio, and it's always Indiana. And so anyway, he comes and he takes the bull by the horn, and we moved him, actually, he started off at Clinton Elementary, and then we have now moved him as head custodian at South Clinton. And I'm going to tell you what, these two are a powerhouse team. So Luke is his son, but they kind of come together as a combo, and you can see Leanne smiling greatly of how her school looks. South Clinton is spit shiny. I tell you what, the floors are beautiful. He's got his laundry list of what he wants to improve the building, and so he has really got a vision for where he wants to take that school, and Luke is gracious enough to come and help him along. And so we did have to strategically place them with a staff picture, because you all know how I am on centering. Mm-hmm. And last year when he was in our staff picture, he was on the back, but he wasn't centered. And you can see that height is a strength that he has. And so when we did our pictures this year, I told the guy, you got to make sure Larry's in the center. I need to have uniformity. And so I think we strategically placed him this year in our staff picture. But they are just a joy to have. So welcome to you both. I know you've been with us for a while, but I wanted the school board to be able to see your face. Anybody else that I have forgotten that has joined us that is here? Have I gotten everybody? Okay, so at this time, guys, I would like for you to stand up, and we'll just start here with Curtis. Let me introduce them to you so you know who you're meeting. This is Curtis Isabel. He is a local lawyer with us. His children attend, well, one of his children moved on to middle school, but one of his children attends with us at Clinton Elementary School. This is Joey Smith. He is a local realtor in the city of Clinton, and he does have a daughter that attends Clinton Elementary School. And he was not the helicopter dad that we thought he might once be when his child came to kindergarten. Jenna trained him well, but we will get his son here in a few years, so we're excited to have his children. This is Merle Price. And she did her whole career in Clinton City Schools. And so she actually was also the principal at North Clinton Elementary School. And so she retired, and then she's now serving on the school board. She brings a great administrative, just school leader perspective to the board. And so we know she's going to stay with us for a long time. And then we have Dr. Tim Bible. He is a local dentist in the area. Actually, his dentist office is located right across the street from Clinton Elementary. But he's our chairman of the board, and will be next year, as you saw just happened. And but he is a great supporter of the school and the vision. And you've been a chairman for how long?
I have no idea.
Maybe a year or two. He's been on the school board for a year or two, so he kind of knows the ins and outs. And then we have KK Webster. And KK Webster, all of her children went through Clinton City Schools. And so she is a strong proponent of Clinton City Schools. And so that is why she serves on the board, is just because she sees the power of what Clinton City Schools does for the community. She works in physical therapy at Park West, and she also is a realtor. And she's a grandmother and a mother, and always has a smile on her face. And so she leads a very busy life, but we're glad she volunteers to be on school board. And then David Queener, who is not here tonight, he is works for the Clinton Police Department. He's a retired part-time worker, but he has grandchildren that go at Clinton Elementary School. And so I think that's all of the school board. You will find, if you are coming to us from another system, you will find You'll never find a more supportive school board than what you see sitting here. And I think it's the beauty of being small, but it's also the beauty of having the right people in the right seats. But they will advocate for you. They will make decisions in the best interest of you. They will support you 100% of the time. And they show up and they don't have favorites over schools. They make decisions on what is the best interest for all three schools, and you'll not find a finer group of people that will support you. Anyway, you just need to know what good hands you have landed in and what a good place this is to be. So at this time, if you all will stand up and start with Curtis and let us welcome you, and then if you will meet on the steps outside, then we'll get your picture and we'll let you get home and get your comfy clothes on. So come on up. Yeah, we'll go around front.
Me and Luke were. Yeah, you all were there. I ain't gonna hug you, I've been hot and sweaty all day. Been out mowing. Thank you all for all you do.
Welcome, welcome. I'm glad your daddy.
You didn't miss much. Oh, you are vice chairman again, and we voted you for 3 or 4 other things. I'm not sure what it is, but you'll get a letter. That's what.
Okay.
They are, my goodness.
Dinner we had.
Support staff banquet.
How tall are those guys?
Very much so. Very much so. They're like big teddy bears, though.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on. Of course, a great big welcome to all of our new teachers. We are so glad that they are here, and our staff as well. We'll move on through our agenda tonight. Moving on, I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. 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 All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our financial report with Mr. Ray.
I'll try to be brief. I've handed out everybody a draft financial statement for the 12-month period end June 30th, 2019. I do not have July's available, so we're just going to focus on June tonight. I'm going to draw your attention, if we can just stay on page 1, which is the revenue of your general purpose fund. I'm going to draw your attention to a couple items. The first is your current property tax, the very first revenue line item there. Property tax revenue has been relatively flat over the last couple of years. That concerns me a bit. We need to keep an eye on that. Sales tax has been growing, over the last couple of years. And generally speaking, when your sales tax grows, your property tax should they should grow together. And they're not. So we need to look into what's going on, and more on the Anderson County side of the property taxes. In the middle of the revenues is your interest earned. That's $20,000 we have earned this year for our investment into a savings account with our excess cash. And that's only 9 months of earnings.
That's awesome.
So we will put an asterisk on that because I think we need to put some more in there. In any event, your basic education program, that is growing, even though we did experience this year a slight decrease from 17-18 to 19-20, a slight decrease in the formula due to our enrollment. We still experienced growth in BP because it grew more than our decline in enrollment. So I'm not concerned about BP. Mixed drink tax. You see we have $77,000. We didn't drink a lot this year. That is the makeup of several years of revenue that the city was kind of holding until the lawsuit was settled. Generally speaking, that'll be between $400 and $500 a month. So we're looking at about $5,000 a year in mixed drink tax. We generally don't talk a lot about revenue, but I think it's important. You know, we seem to hammer out expenses with budget amendments and really look into that, and we kind of ignore the revenue, which pays for everything. So those are the kind of the highlights for the year's report I want you to keep an eye on. Page 2. So the one that everybody, second column, it says actual. You'll see a $648,000 figure. That's the surplus this year, unaudited. So that will be invested into fund balance. And we'll talk about that a little more later. But I want to draw your attention to the 2 line items that are on page 2. Education expenditures. That $33,000 is your energy efficiency loan payments. Those will fall off in 2024, 2025. So that $33,000 is relatively stable for the next 4 or 5 years as an expenditure. Transfers out. That's inflated this year because we purchased property. And we purchased $98,000 was the Wiggles and Giggles property, and $132,000 was the Marshall Street property. That figure's inflated by approximately $230,000. So we won't see that again next year because I think we've completed our purchases on Marshall. The balance is our debt payments. So the balance of that 456, if you take away 230,000, is for our debt. And that is the West Wing debt. That comes off in 2026. And then the South Clinton Elementary improvements from several years ago, that comes off in 2025. Problem with the West Wing debt is that we are currently replacing infrastructure that debt was used to buy. That's why I don't like debt. And I don't like extending it for more than the useful life of the assets that you purchased with the debt. I think we're in the right direction on that. Are there any questions about general purpose fund thus far? So the fund balance was what we'd be looking at. We started the year with $3.7 million. We will end unaudited about $4.4 million. And that is approximately half of our annual expenditures. And that is a great place to be. I always tell people in the office, save for a rainy day because you never know when it's going to rain. We need to use that for capital projects. I believe in replacing a roof before it starts to leak, because when it starts to leak, it interferes with education. I mean, you can't teach in a leaky classroom. So we need to be proactive and have that money set aside so that when it does come time to pull the trigger, we can do so. Any questions about the general purpose fund for the year end?
So fund balance is where we've been wanting it to be, right? Is that right?
Absolutely. Oh, we're above where we want it to be, and that's, I guess, back to my asterisk on interest revenue. I think we can take some of that money and we can, if you all would think about it until the next board meeting, maybe I can bring it up at the September meeting to invest maybe between 500 and another $1 million in that account. Because right now, it's paying for a teaching assistant position, half of a teacher.
I like the way that's growing, and we can pull out any time, right? with
Absolutely.
this?
Yeah, it's secure. It's, I mean, the city's savings account. If we can achieve a better rate with maybe a credit union or something like that, I'd be happy to pursue that, but
We have a pretty good rate right now.
we're doing pretty
Oh,
well,
yeah.
considering. So yeah, we're where we need to be with our fund balance. Generally, you want to keep, I always say, keep 3 months of payroll in fund balance, and we have twice that. So 6 months of payroll, we're almost at half a year's expenditures, so we're doing really well. I don't want to sound like we're hoarding cash and not spending it on kids and education immediately, but these are big projects that can, a new roof at Clinton.
Didn't you say that one roof would be $1 million? It'd
Yeah,
knock
if we
us
were
out
to
$1 million?
re-roof entirety of Clinton, it could be $1 million in one summer. That'd be, HVAC can be a boiler. I think if some of you may be familiar with the boiler that went down at the Baptist church and how much that cost. So, I'd like to be able to have the money to replace equipment. Now, if we have growth and development, you can borrow money to grow, but you shouldn't borrow money to continue your current operations. It just doesn't make sense. Federal projects. Oh, sorry, any more questions about general purpose? Federal projects, there's not really too much to say. We get the grant, we spend the money. There's some carry forwards involved. The grant managers are the supervisors in central office. They manage those grants and use those funds according to the grant and according to what best benefits our kids. I will say, we're having a new census year coming up. I would expect the way the economy's been and the way our area is growing and developing, that we will probably experience a decline in federal funding based on the census.
They are actually seeing overall in the state of Tennessee, poverty rates are actually lowering. And that's
So-
what it's based on.
I mean, it's a good thing that our poverty's gone down,
Right.
but
Yes.
then the funding that goes with it also goes
Yeah.
down. I guess, and then again, this is not audited, and it's a cafeteria fund. And one of the reasons I put draft on all these is I like to tie everything in. I mean, everything on the balance sheet. I've been a little busy over the past couple months.
Why would that be?
I'm
Why would that
not
be,
sure.
Mr. Ray?
I don't want to make excuses, but I mean, I feel confident that everything in a material manner is in here. There's nothing that's going to be, I don't anticipate any huge surprises. But I just wanted you to know when I tie things in, sometimes it might be plus or minus a couple $100 here or there. But we did have a surplus in the cafeteria, first since I've been around, $24,000 surplus. And what I do look forward to is building that surplus to about $50,000. We need to keep about 3 months of expenditures in the fund balance for cafeteria fund.
Is the new steamer taken out of this, or will that come out of this year's
That'll
money?
come out of this 1920s budget. For example, we just bought a steamer at South Clinton, and it was about $10,000.
But that was $10,000 we didn't have to take from instruction, we were able to
Correct.
take from the cafeteria.
Correct. Yeah, general
Cafeteria.
purpose is not. If you'll notice on the cafeteria page, you'll notice that we budgeted in revenue a transfer in of $10,000. And that money would have transferred in, well, transfer from where? General purpose fund. and we didn't do it. You can see we budgeted for it, but we didn't do it. We didn't need to do it. In the prior year, I believe we budgeted $40,000 or $50,000. So we've definitely improved over the couple years, and now we're definitely on the right track.
So not only did we get in the black this year, but we also didn't have to take away funds from GP to
Correct.
to supplement it.
I kind of look at it, and, you know, we take money from kids, the younger children. And that's what we don't have to do here. Our cafeteria is self-sustaining, and that is the way the cafeteria is supposed to be. Any questions on that?
That's great. I mean, that's,
Never thought we'd see that happen, did we, KK?
I knew we would.
Great job,
Thanks.
Scott.
So it'd be, you got the June financials, so let me just go over a couple things on the balance sheet. Here's another thing that we rarely talk, I try to talk about it once a year. You don't have it, I'm just gonna tell you the highlights. We have $4,300,000 in cash. So we're doing very well with our cash position. Our cash flow is definitely positive. We do not ever worry about not being able to cover payroll. So I feel like you guys should feel comfortable, and we can do things in central office and not have to worry about, geez, when is that revenue stream gonna come in? We can't do this until we get our sales tax money or property tax money. No, we can do it and then know that the property tax money is gonna be coming in to cover it. I will caution you, you know, I said that we're gonna have a $4+ million fund balance, but I'll go back and be negative. Remember, our debt balance is $3.7 million. So you gotta take that into consideration. But for cash flow, we're doing very well. Any questions?
Did you come over and take over home budgets?
You would not want that.
Yeah,
Can I just tell
you may
you
want
that
to
you
check
would
with
not
Sarah
want
on that
that.
one. There will be no going out to dinner or lunch. No Zaxby's,
He
sorry.
didn't let his wife get chicken a couple months ago because it wasn't on
Yeah,
sale,
it gotta
so-
be less than $1.99 a pound. Just think of that.
Doesn't work so well when you have to live with it, but it works great for a school system,
Yeah.
right?
But if you all ever have any questions, you know where my office is. Feel free to stop in. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, thank you, Scott. Any other questions or comments for Mr. Ray regarding our June financial statement for the end of the year report? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved?
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Motion and a second. Kim, could we have a roll call vote, please?
KK Webster,
Yes.
Tim Bible,
Yes.
Merle Price,
Yes.
Joey Smith,
Yes.
Curtis Isbell.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on, we have a revised school board policies and some addition to cover charter schools. I
So,
think everything's pretty straightforward there, Kelly, but if there's anything
It
that you would
is,
like to
um,
elaborate on.
no, it's all minor revisions with the exception of the new policies that have been added, but August is always our big time of the year when TSBA takes the laws that the legislative session has imposed upon us, and they give us the new suggested TSBA policies. Then I take them and I kind of tweak them to what I think is going to kind of match what we want to happen in Clinton City Schools. The new ones, the charter schools, the only reason that I went ahead and want those added into ours, of course, we don't have any charter schools in our area, but if someone were to approach us and want to do an application with us, I wanted us to go ahead and have a policy in place of how we would handle that, instead of having to do that once they had approached us, because then we get under scrutiny that we're setting up the policy to work in our favor, and so we just took the TSBA suggested policy, and that way we have that in place if that ever arises. And then the only other new policy is just students from military families, and that's not real significant for our area, but it just makes enrollment easier on the parents' half if they are serving in the military and are deployed to a certain area for students to be able to attend the school that's going to be closest to their parents. And so nothing real major on that. But the rest of them are just minor little tweaks of wording and nothing that really significantly changes the way that we do business.
All right. Any questions or comments for Kelly regarding the school board policies?
Nothing big on the fundraising activities.
No, the fundraising activities, the biggest change in that was just allowing teachers to, in the past, there'd always been some questions on if teachers could, like, the Coke machine money could go to teachers, like improving morale. And if teachers wanted to give a certain amount of money, like the Sunshine Fund, $25 at the beginning of the year that covers flowers or anything for other teachers, if that was really allowed. And so this policy just kind of clarifies that and gives some leeway for those types of things to occur.
Okay. Any other questions for Kelly? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the policies in Appendix E as presented. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
A motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to reports from principals. It's a busy time.
It is. We'll start right here. Since Monica is sitting up front, we'll get Monica to come up and tell us what's happening at the beautiful North Clinton Elementary School. I do like how you have matched your folder to the official color of North Clinton. Nice
And-
touch.
And Miss Sheila and Taylor this summer made a little stencil that said Home of the Cougars. And so they updated the playground paint on the equipment that had, it was the blue, and then they painted Home of the Cougars with a little paw print on white on some of the playground equipment. It was very, very sweet. The kids were actually loving that. So yes, now that you mentioned that, I thought I'm
Okay.
just gonna give that little tidbit. We are very busy. I'm looking at what I have listed here. It doesn't match the amount of work that has gone into it. We have been super, super busy. But I was talking to Dr. Bible on the way in and said, we are so glad to be back. Teachers are back, glad to be back. We're glad to see students. They're happy to be there. They're happy to see each other. They're happy to see us. So we're all very happy to be back. This summer, I went to a class. It's an acronym class, training to become a certified pre-K evaluator for our pre-K program that is now going to be something that's required by the state. So we have to have somebody that, if we have a pre-K program, someone that has to go in and do a certain number of evaluations and then turn that information into the state. So I got to spend 2 days learning about how to become a pre-K evaluator. Super fun time. We also had an open house on August 1st, and we had about 66 families attend out of about, we have around 175 families that will be in our building, and so that was a good little number of folks that were returning or new coming to see our school. I sent an email to staff today. Every class has absolutely jumped right into procedures and academic classes on Monday, and they're teaching their procedures with their academics. I did some classroom pop-ins today, and the academic language and the engagement of our students was out of this world. Absolutely unexpected for the first 4 full days of school. We had PLCs on Wednesday, and we were looking at planning, pacing, and materials, as well as writing assessment dates that would be coming up through the year. And we will have our first Parent-Teacher Community Connection PTCC meeting on the 20th, and on August 28th, we will have our Fall Picture Day for yearbook pictures.
Thank you. Great
Thank
things
you,
happening at
Monica.
North Clinton. Miss Jenna Sharp, if you'll come up and tell us about Clinton Elementary School.
Welcome back. We're excited to be back. We have been very busy at Clinton Elementary School. First, we want to thank people in the Clinton community for donating supplies to get our teachers and students off to the right start. They are very appreciative of that. We are so thankful for that support. We had open house on August the 1st from 4 to 6 with a Title I meeting at 4:30. Our kiddos got to come in and meet their teachers, and they were super excited about that. We had our rules review in the auditorium for all grades on August 5th, so they know their expectations of how they behave in class and in the school. So I think that was very helpful. Today we had ELA PLCs. We talked about planning and pacing, and we talked about writing and expectations for the year. So we will continue to do that throughout, but that kind of got us started off. Our iReady diagnostic window begins on Monday, and kindergarten comes their first full day next Wednesday. Next Thursday, we will have math PLCs. We will also have a data team meeting to begin to review our TN Ready data. On the 26th, the 5th and 6th grade will attend an assembly to learn about the Clinton 12. And they are also our 5th grade is going to participate in an essay contest. And they are going to watch a reenactment also. So that will be a good experience for them. We have so many kids here who have never really even learned about that. And it's such an important part of Clinton. So we're excited about that. On August the 27th, we have team training. And then on the 28th, we have our assembly. I would also like to recognize Kinsley Hutchison. She's a student at Clinton Elementary School, and she attended the Junior Olympics. She represented the Blaze. So we are super proud of her. In the district, she was second, and then she scored well in the regional and then went on to the Junior Olympics and scored 40th in shot put and 31st in the discus. So we're just really proud of her and wanted to recognize her.
Absolutely.
So, thanks.
Very good. And while we are talking about Clinton Elementary, Abby Kidwell, of course, has had her sweet little baby, Penelope Collins, and so she is going to take the first semester off to be a mommy. And so Lauren Witt, if you'll stand up. Lauren Witt is actually a rock star math teacher in 6th grade, and so she has her administrative degree, and so we just think she is superwoman. So she's going to teach 6th grade math, and she's also going to serve as an administrative intern and help Jenna with some things before school and after school, and try to help with some administrative tasks to see Jenna through the first semester. So we're excited. She's already done a terrific job. So welcome as part of our admin team for this first semester, Miss Lauren. All right, Miss Bonesteel, South Clinton Elementary School, home of the Bears, which I saw there was a bear there the first day.
What?
Yes, there was. A live bear. A live bear. No, not a live bear.
Mr. Stevenson was there.
No.
We have invited him before, though. We're off to a great start, and I'm really happy to say that our enrollment is probably the highest it's been since I've been at South Clinton. I think last I heard we were at 273, 274. So we're really excited about that. We started off with our annual Meet the Teacher Night on Thursday, August 1st from 5 to 7. And we had a really good turnout of parents that came to meet their child's teachers, see the classrooms, and get all their beginning of the year information. And we had a fun little photo booth set up with props that the kids could use so that parents could take their pictures. But I think some of the staff members had more fun with it than the kids did. We had a great first day of school. Our mascot, the big black bear, made his appearance and walked around with me to greet all the kids when they arrived at school that first morning, so that was really fun. I won't tell who the bear was, you'll have to guess. We now have a brand new breakfast cart that's set up in our front foyer in the mornings to provide students more options for breakfast. So it's provided through a grant from PepsiCo. And it just gives students another option if they didn't eat breakfast at home and maybe they don't like what's on the hotline in the cafeteria. They have more choices, so we've had good participation so far. The kids are really excited about it. So hopefully more of our students will start participating in our breakfast program. I have a lot of thank yous at the beginning of this school year. I want to thank ADFAC for providing backpacks and school supplies for our students. We were able to provide supplies and bags for everyone that needed them, plus some siblings that maybe needed a little help as well. I would also like to thank Willow Ridge and Jean Marlowe that does landscaping at Willow Ridge, because they came and took care of our landscaping and our flower bed in the very front of the school and made it look really nice, free of charge to us. So it was all ready to go on Meet the Teacher Night, and it looks great. I would also like to thank Lonnie Arrowwood from the Ridge Church. She has provided clothes and shoes for our clothes closet at South Clinton Elementary. And our very first assembly of the year is going to be on Friday, August 16th at 7:45.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne.
And I have to tell a story about the bear, that we have been working with a particular student of hers just on self-control and using his words instead of actions to show frustration. And so my favorite story, you know that you're making progress when the bear comes up and gets too close to the student, and the student says, "I'm sorry, but you're making me uncomfortable." And we celebrated big. That was awesome. That was awesome. And so the bear stepped away. The bear stepped away, so that was great. Thank you. That concludes all of our principal reports.
All right, if you'll please make a note, we have a board retreat scheduled at Spindletree, August the 23rd. That'll be from 8 o'clock.
Spindletree,
Do you know
it's on
where
Market
Arts
Street.
Antique store is? It's right next door. It's the,
It is a new venue
Photography.
that the Birkenbecks have bought and opened.
also, our next school board meeting will be here September the 12th. And coming up is the fall district meeting, which will be in Maryville. Kim, have you heard from everybody, or is there? No?
I'll be sending out an
Email, okay.
or text, so.
Be looking and marking your calendars. That'll be Tuesday, September the 17th. And we'll have we usually take a band from the school, so we'll have a leave time and a meet time in order to get to Maryville. That concludes everything in information.
I think he was with somebody. Yeah.
Okay. And that concludes everything in reports for information, and we'll move on to our director's report.
Okay, I apologize, I do not have a typed copy of a director's report tonight, but I will be back in action next month with a written report. Just a few reminders of some things to inform you of what's going on at Clinton City Schools. We have gotten off to an absolutely terrific start, and I want to publicly, right now, convey my appreciation to the fine folks sitting out in the audience. This school year would not have been up and running without the fabulous team that we have, and they have worked endless hours, and they have taken on jobs that are not necessarily theirs to take on to make sure that school ran smoothly and that people did not feel my absence. And I just feel blessed every day that we have developed such a good quality team of people who have each other's backs, and you can trust them unconditionally, and they have just a heart for children and making sure that Clinton City Schools succeeds. And so I want to publicly thank you all for all you've done to get the school year started. It has started well, fast and furious, and our numbers are actually looking fairly well. We did take a little bit of a dip last year, as we talked about. We lost probably 25, 30 kids last year, and for whatever reason, attendance just ebbs and flows. And so when our BEP, as Scott was talking about, it's based on student enrollment. So we actually got a decrease in BEP funds because our BEP enrollment had dropped this past year. But because it had increased, our increase was slightly more. But certainly Scott and I were looking at that, and so we were hoping to see a little bit of a pop in enrollment this year. And we have. We are right now system-wide, including pre-K, we are at 975 students. And so without pre-K, we're at 944, and I think we ended the year last year at around 915, 916. And so we have a little bit of an uptick. So if that uptick continues, then they will readjust the BEP, and we will get a growth measure at the beginning of January, February. We'll find out if we happen to get a little bit of a bump for our growth or not. So anyway, that is good news, and I will tell you, we've even with this growth, we have become more and more careful of how we handle transfers. And we have probably denied more transfers and revoked more transfers than we've ever seen at Clinton City Schools. So we're really trying to just build the city and leave the spots for the city kids, but also if we can accept transfers and we can provide a benefit to them, but they can also provide a benefit to us. And so even with us scrutinizing those transfers, it's nice to see that number is going up. An update on Wiggles and Giggles is that, of course, the building is down, as Scott has said. I've spoken with Roger Houck, and of course, with vacations and summer craziness, we have not gotten together, but we have agreed as soon as I can get back in action. He is going to meet Scott and me back there, and we are going to talk about kind of what the city is able to do in kind for us to get that parking lot done and what we will need to contract out. But we intend to develop the Wiggles and Giggles spot first, and so we will we plan to do a fence, and then that will become our first parking lot that we develop. And so we should, next month, I should have some good information on where that's going. The staff this year, we are focusing, we had a little bit of a frog celebration with our green shirts. Your shirts are green for a reason, because this is the year of the frog. We are focusing realistically on growth, And you can focus realistically on growth, and you can fully rely on God at the same time. And so we are focusing realistically on growth, and that's based on our iReady data, where we saw that differentiation. That's a slide that Jamie showed you, where they said they had not seen that across the state, where we are growing kids in all academic levels. And we do that if we can differentiate our instruction and focus on growing each kid at least a year, then our achievement and everything else is going to fall into place. And so we do have our TN Ready data is back, but it is unfortunately embargoed until August the 13th. So we will publicly announce the results of that at school board meeting next month. So I look forward to sharing that information with you at that time. And that concludes, at this point, all of my director's report. Does anybody have any questions for me? Girls, have I left anything out? Have we covered big stuff? Okay, that concludes it.
All right, well, thank you to central office and the teachers in having a smooth transition, and also getting everything up and flowing once again, just seamlessly, once again. So hats off to you all for stepping up to the plate and doing a wonderful job that you always do. Thank you so much. Anybody else have anything else?
I apologize for being late.
We're just glad you're here,
We are
Merle.
glad you're here. All right, anything else?
I saw just today, I saw that there's a commemorative walk for the Clinton 12 on August 26th. It mentioned some of our kids participating. Do we
Our
have
fifth
any
and
kids
sixth,
doing anything?
our fifth and sixth grade kids are going to go outside. We're still working out the details of that, but they're gonna walk outside and just kind of stand on the sidewalk on the gym side of Clinton Elementary School and watch that walk unfold. We are still in discussion if they will, there's gonna be a program held in the middle school gym, and so there's discussion of whether they'll walk over and participate in that or not. And I've got this on my list to do Mondays to get with the committee that's arranging that, to kind of see what role we'll play in that.
Okay.
Is that what you know, Jenna, so far? Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, hearing none, I'll declare this meeting adjourned.
Declare it.
Declared.